listening to the IELTS podcast. Learn from tutors and ex-examiners who are masters of IELTS preparation. Your host, Ben Worthington.
Hello there, IELTS podcast listeners. In this episode, we've got Kim from Malaysia, and she's going to tell us about her experience with IELTS and how she finally got the results she wanted for the writing. And she's just going to give us a few tips and tell us how she did it and her next steps and what she'll be doing. So, welcome to the show, Kim. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm good, Ben.
Excellent. Now, Kim, could you tell us where you're from and why you're taking the IELTS exam?
I'm from Malaysia, and the reason I take the IELTS exam is because I plan to migrate to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Right. Okay. And when you get to, are you going there on a skilled visa, or which visa are you going to use to get into Australia?
I actually have no idea. Sorry, I think it's a skilled visa.
Right.
Yes. That's
okay.
right.
Okay. And you have an agent in Malaysia handling all this.
Yes, exactly. So what I do is I just take the exam, and then he will handle everything for me.
Okay. Okay, I see. Right then. So, how many times have you taken the exam?
I took twice. So the last exam was last month. Mm-hmm. And I was so happy because I didn't expect that within a short period of time. I actually my first exam I took in 2014, March 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that I didn't get the band that I really wanted in writing section. So I stopped for a while, and because of my workload, and then only last June or July, I started to study again. Then I came to your website and took the sentence guide.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the sentence guide, and I started study according to your sentence guide.
Yeah. I remember. So, just one thing. What was it now? With your first exam, do you remember the results you got in March 2014?
My listening, I got listening in band 7.5.
Wow, that's good.
And the reading was 8, mm-hmm. and then writing 6.5,
mm-hmm.
and speaking 7.
Right. Okay, those are pretty good scores. Those are very good.
Yes.
Very good scores. And how did you get 8 for the reading? Do you have any techniques or tips you could share?
At the time, I actually engaged with an English tutor. She recommended me a book from. I find this book really useful for the reading section because they are really hard. And the book is from Pearson Longman.
Mm-hmm.
And it really helped me a lot in getting the band 8.
Right. Okay. So, and this Pearson Longman, and do you remember the title of the book?
It's called IELTS Practice Test +3 with Keys from Margaret Matthews.
Excellent. Okay, thank you for that. And the way you used this book is, did you just do test after test after test? How did you prepare using that book?
Yes, I actually studied a lot. Almost every day I tried. And one thing I find it very frustrating is it was too hard that sometimes I couldn't finish it in time. Like during the test is for 1 hour, right?
Yes.
So every time whenever I practice, I use more than 1 hour to finish it up. So when it come to exam time, I was surprised that the test was quite easy. So
I see.
Yeah, so I guess that's how I got band 8.
Right, that's interesting. So you were using harder material, but taking longer, and then when the exam came, it was much easier than you anticipated, and you basically nailed it. Well done.
Yes, because before I used this book, I used the other book, which I find it too easy and not challenging enough. Should I say that book?
Yeah, tell us. It's fine.
If I'm not mistaken, is the IELTS book from Cambridge. I'm trying to look at the edition. It's from the Cambridge English IELTS 9.
Right, IELTS now.
IELTS 9.
9, sorry. Okay, I know which book it is, yeah. Okay,
Yes.
And that one you found it just too easy?
Yes, it's too easy compared to this book from Margaret Matthews.
Right, okay, that's interesting. Now, and for the other sections of the exam, for the speaking, what did you do then for the speaking to prepare?
I didn't do much because, honestly speaking, before I started IELTS, I don't speak good English, and I don't watch English movies because my native language is Cantonese. So most of the time I watch a lot of Cantonese Chinese series movies. But when I started to prepare IELTS, I started to watch a lot of English movies and from American TV series. So I guess that helped me a lot in listening.
Right, I see. Okay then. So that would have helped you for the listening, but for the speaking, did you try mimicking any of the characters that you were watching in the movies?
Not exactly. I did try, but when it come to speaking section, I totally forget everything. So, but then I did use some linking words to help me to have a better sentence in speaking. Yeah, as you see, I'm really not good in speaking.
No, I think your speaking is really good. Yeah, but
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think you would benefit a lot if you mimicked sort of how native speakers speak, or if you just try and get into more I mean, in Malaysia where you're based, do you speak a lot of English in your job or with your friends?
Yes, but not all the time, because in my family they speak Cantonese most of the time. So I have to, and I started meet friends nowadays because I have to take care of my children. So what I do is I try to watch a lot of TV series and record my own speaking and listen to my own speaking to see what is my mistake especially on my grammar part.
Right, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's how I do.
And have you tried singing as well? Because that would probably help, I imagine.
Oh, I've never thought of that. I would try maybe in the future.
Yeah, because I can from listening to you, I can hear that you've got some excellent vocabulary and the grammar, and sometimes I mean, if I was going to work with you personally, I think I would work on fluency and pronunciation. And I think those two areas for you could definitely improve considerably by yourself if you just started singing. Because when you sing, you start to push the words together, which sounds more native. And plus, you've got to pronounce it right for the song anyway. So I would
Yes.
really just consider it at least, you know.
Okay. That's a good advice. I will do that.
Okay, yeah. And send it in a recording as well if you want to, of you singing.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay, all right. Now, Kim, for the writing in March, you got 6.5. Do you know why or how? Why was that low?
I guess maybe because of the structure of my essay, because the English tutor that I engaged with, she didn't give me much information about how to really write a proper essay. Whenever I wrote whenever I write an essay, she will just say, "Oh, this doesn't sound right. Rewrite again," and she didn't even say that, "Oh, you should give examples for what you have written about this topic sentence."
I
So
see.
yeah, so I guess that's the problem.
Okay, and this English teacher, was she in Malaysia? Was she online?
Oh, she's in Malaysia.
Right.
Yes.
And it was
So,
it a native English speaker or?
yes, she's a native speaker. Undoubtedly, she actually improved my grammar.
Mm-hmm.
Improve my grammar. She worked a lot on a lot of how to write in a proper grammar, write a proper sentence in a proper grammar structure.
Okay.
So that one, she helped me a lot.
Okay, but for the actual exam skills, you found that it was a little bit weak, maybe.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Okay then. All right. And then you took a break for a while
Yes.
because of work.
Yes.
And then when you went to take the test again, this was about, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, October, September, October. So about 6 or 7 months later, you took the test. And looking at your results, you improved your listening by
Yes.
one whole band score, which is pretty good, from 7.5 to 8.5. Do you have any idea how you did that? Oh, was it the movies? Was it just watching more movies?
Yes. From time to time, I've been watching a lot of English TV series like Friends, and then recently I watched Lost and also The Desperate Housewives. So it's pretty interesting. It helped me a lot when I was watching. I read the subtitles as well, and then So and also, I always worry about listening because it's not my strong area. So I do a lot of exercises from the same book from Pearson Longman.
Right. Okay.
And I didn't expect I got 8.5. I thought maybe I would get the same band again because I just do a lot of exercise.
Well, yeah, it's really good. That is fantastic. It's a big improvement. And what's interesting as well in the next one, in the reading, in March you got 8, and then in October you got 7.
Yeah.
What happened there, Kim?
I don't know. Maybe I put too much focus on listening, then I didn't do much on the reading. Maybe I was too overconfident because of previous IELTS result. I got band 8, so I thought maybe I can do as good as before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's my mistake.
Yeah, that's really common, actually. You would be surprised. And it's to keep your scores high across the board for both listening, reading, writing, and speaking. It's usually essential to keep your focus on all of them, and just at least maintaining them, not aim to improve, but just maintain them, but definitely not abandon them. And because otherwise they do slip. It's like a muscle as if you're doing sport, if you don't use it, it gets weaker and it shows. But what was really good though was the writing. You got 6.5 in March, and then what happened in October?
As I said, I came across to your website, and I actually came across to your website even before when I took the first exam. Then I didn't take the initiative to buy the sentence guide because I thought the English teacher could help me. So then the second test, when I wanted to take the second test, I thought maybe I give it a try. From what I saw, all the testimonials from your students. So and I followed the instructions, and then I sent back to your teachers for correction. And I actually even that at first I didn't have much confidence, because at the same time I actually sent to another website for correction service that they could give me a possible band. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Because I tried to ask for a band from you, but then you say you couldn't give me. Then I have no confidence in myself.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, I do avoid, and it gets quite frustrating for students, but I avoid giving estimated band scores because I know that other websites do that, and sometimes they can really damage a student's confidence, or they can really boost a student's confidence. And either way, I don't think it's beneficial. But so that's why I personally kind of refrain from doing that. But you sent your your essays to another tutor, and what band score did they give you?
Sometimes they gave me the highest I got was band 7.5, and then the lowest is band 6.
Wow, so there's quite a big range there, isn't it?
Yes,
wasn't there? Yeah.
Exactly, that's right.
This is why I try and avoid it, because there's, like, you send me an exam on Thursday and I'll say it's a 6, then you'll send me another one on Friday, and if it's a different tutor working, they might say it's a 7.5, or maybe you're in a better state, so you're writing better, you're feeling more confident, and your writing's just flowing, so it's a better essay. There's so many variables that it can be, I think it's quite a difficult task, to be honest. So, yeah, anyway, so in the end you got 6.5, and you even asked me if I would guarantee the 7, because I remember you sent me your exam your results paper before, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
I think I got it here. 1 second. Where is it now? I'm sure you sent me your 2 papers, unless I'm getting mixed up with another student. Let me just see.
You
okay. Did you? Yeah, you did. Yeah, I've got it here. You sent, because it's got the score, the test report form, everything like that. So, and so, because I think you asked me the conditions of the guarantee, so I sent you, send me your previous certificate, 6.5, and all that. So I'm really, really happy that you did get your 7. And can I ask you, Kim, what was the most valuable thing you got from the sentence guide?
Okay, firstly, I get to know what exactly to write, especially during exam time. I only have like less than half an hour after deducting writing the first essay and the first 10 minutes of thinking of ideas. So sentence guides actually help me to have a clearer picture what to write in a proper way. So that actually saved my time. So I guess that would be the most valuable things I've learned in sentence guide.
I see. So it gave you like sort of like clear instructions of what to do.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
I see. Okay then, good. And did you enjoy the course, or was it really boring? And did you hate submitting the essays?
No, I enjoy a lot. It's just that sometimes whenever I reply, send you an email, maybe you're really busy. It's a bit late to reply to me, honestly speaking. But the rest of it, you really helped me a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I think I was on the road, and I was between traveling from Berlin to Thailand, Berlin to Taiwan, and it was quite difficult to get internet connection, so that's the reason why it was a little bit later than 24 hours, so I do apologize for that. I'm sorry.
But now I understand. Don't worry about that.
But any other students, don't worry. I've stopped moving, and I'll be in the same position. I'll be in Thailand now for a couple of months, and then I'll probably go back to Europe again. So just to let you know, okay? And if you're going to take the exam, if you're going to take the exam at the end of February, be careful, because I will be traveling again then back to Europe. So try and avoid those dates.
Okay, all right.
Now, and for the speaking, you got 7 in March, and then you got a 6 in October. What happened, Kim?
Okay. For this second exam I took last month, I didn't engage with any English teacher in Malaysia. So I basically too focused on writing and the listening part, where I just self-study on the listening part. And as far as I'm concerned, before the previous teacher in Malaysia told me that for speaking section, you don't really have to memorize a lot of things. Try to speak naturally. So I still remember the words that she said before. So I used the same concept to speak in the last exam. And I guess especially in the section 3, I made a mistake where I gave too much of personal experience when the examiner asked me about what do people think about this and that. But then I think I used my own experience to answer the question.
I see. Okay. And you think that was a mistake?
I think so. What do you think, Ben?
Well, I mean, it's really difficult to say, but I don't know. I mean, it depends on the actual sort of because I wouldn't worry too much about the content. I mean, all it has to do is be relevant to the actual examiner's question. Yeah. And in that sense, and I would be more sort of focused on the delivery and trying to deliver exactly what they wanted from the question, but also do it in a sort of in a clear and structured way. So you'd start off with I don't know, imagine you've given a presentation about, I don't know, cooking, yeah, and the examiner said, "Oh, do you know any?" The topic card was something like, describe a place which has really good cooking, describe why you like it, and I don't know, describe if you do any cooking, or explain if you do any cooking, or something like that. Then the next question might be about, do you know anybody who's a good cook? Okay, so here in this question, I mean, it seems really simple, and it is, but all you have to do is just say, name the person, sort of describe what they're cooking, then perhaps give an example, and then almost sort of finish and just say, yeah, and that's why my Auntie Alison is a really good cook, you know? And just use that structure, and it's kind of, I mean, using that structure, it will increase the coherence of your answer, and it'll give you a structure so you know that you're not going off, into different directions. Do you see what I mean?
But Ben, if let's say she asks this kind of question like why do people like to go noisy places to have conversation? What do you think about it? How would you say?
Okay, that's a really good question. Did you get asked that question in your exam?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm still thinking of whether is it because of because of this question in the section 3. I answered it wrongly. That's why she gave me a band 6 because I think I spoke the same thing like what I have spoken before in my first test. I just use the same way, but then
I see.
Maybe it's just different examiner.
Right. Okay. Well, be careful because one, you are making an assumption that this question was where you lost the points. Okay, and then you're making this assumption, and then you might prepare all your preparation. You might spend all your time preparing for the task 3. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't know for sure where it was, where where you were losing points. And secondly, a question, what you did about repeating, when you were explaining to me about repeating vocabulary or things, were you saying that you were repeating vocabulary that you've used in the March exam or that you used in part 1 of the same exam?
No. What were you saying just now?
Sorry, yeah. When you said before that you repeated a lot of sentences.
No. What I meant is I use the same structure, the same way of speaking. What I did before in my first test.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that should be okay then.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because if you've used it once in one test, there's no reason why you cannot use it again in another test. That should be okay, you know?
Yeah, that's why. It's just, as I said, it's just different examiners. Maybe the different, yeah.
Yeah. But before you said, what was the question again? Sort of like, why did people like to have conversations in noisy places?
Exactly.
Okay, then, right. So, I mean, first we can just rephrase the question. Like, most people, or we could say, most people, usually adolescents, teenagers, and party goers, often have conversations in noisy places such as clubs, bars, and discos. And the reason for this is probably because they don't want to be overheard, and also the loud music can fill in spaces in the conversation. So, for example, I have a friend who always likes to have conversations in loud places. For me personally, I find it a bit distracting and a bit irritating, but I guess people do that because they don't like to be heard, and they can also have the spaces in the conversation filled up with music. So I that's how I would have answered that, you know. And I think the best way to do these is to go from like general to specific, you know.
Yeah, I also see that you incorporate examples and
because here it's like the opposite of what we're doing with the writing. Because in the writing we have to give examples, like a recent study by Harvard University showed, you know.
Yes,
and
that's
then
right.
We're not going to really state an academic study in the speaking. You see, what we can do though is give a personal example about our friend. Yeah. For example, I have a friend who just really loves having conversations in loud places. For me, I find it a little bit uncomfortable, but they enjoy it because they also like to listen to music at the same time as talking. Yeah?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so that's how I would do it. And plus with an example, a real world example like we use in the writing, it gives us a chance to really put in some more vocabulary related to the topic, you know. And plus usually as well, if we're talking about personal things, and a truthful example here, it's easier to find that vocabulary if we can picture that person, and we can picture that situation. So that would be my advice there, Kim.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great.
Excellent. Okay, do you have any more questions regarding the speaking or anything like that?
No, more or less I get what do the examiner really want in speaking section.
Okay then, Kim, well, have a fantastic day, and thank you very much for taking the time for doing the recording.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.